All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are absolutely live right now. Very excited to see everybody today. Just checking out, going live in a couple of places here. Let me make sure. All right, it looks like I have lost access to my Facebook, so I am going live on YouTube. Sam, Travis, you guys should be going live
lost
on Facebook,
access as well. I am trying to fix it right now.
All right, let's see.
I'm live. It says you are live. Let me make sure.
Check your Facebook. See what the hell is going on.
It says, let's see. That's why we do this, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big, always say, don't let the first time you do something be the first time you do it. All right. So yes, it says I'm live on Facebook.
All right. I have to reconnect. Just give me 1 second to reconnect. It's forcing me to reconnect.
All right.
Boom. I'm live on Facebook, guys.
All right, there we go. There's 2 out of 3. There's 2 out of 3.
I think I'm almost there.
Sam, you in?
It looks like I am. Boom, boom.
All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are live in all different directions now, confirmed and operating. My name's David Adam Kurz. I'm the founder of the Freedom Organization here at LPT Realty. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 2 special guests with me today. Today, I've got Travis Winfield, founder of the Moore Group, and Sam Karimian, who is the founder and owner of Big Block Realty out in San Diego, California. Well, throughout all of California, I think now. And we're super excited to have this conversation today because we're going to talk a little bit about the genesis, the beginning of this relationship that you see in front of you. But we are also going to talk about why Sam, who you could read on the little ticker on the bottom, took Big Block Realty and 1,200 of his agents and created the largest independent brokerage move to a cloud brokerage ever in the history of movements. And I'm super excited about this. And we're going to dig into it, man. Travis, Sam, what's going on, guys?
Oh, man. Thanks for having us, bro. Thanks for having us, man. This is tough. Like we've been posting all weekend. This is full circle, right, Sam?
That's right, man. I'm excited to be here and got a ton of history with both of you, which is, we'll talk about the full circleness of it all. But, man, very excited to be here and chat with everyone and tell everyone what the heck was Sam and Big Block thinking. So it should be fun.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to be very honest and transparent with everybody here. Whatever Sam was thinking, I'm very happy about it. So I'm going to take a little history, guys. Travis and I met on social media, and we shared a connection through the military. I was in the Marine Corps. He was in the Navy. We forgive him for that, but we'll have to
give you a ride anywhere you got to go there.
And we connected at a high level. It was really cool. We just kind of created a friendship through social media. We didn't. It wasn't a do for me or ask for something or anything like that. We just had the connection in the military. We had the connection in real estate. He introduced me to a lot of projects and things that he was developing over the years. I think we've been connected now maybe 5-6 years or something like that. And then eventually that led to you calling me one day and going, "Hey, dude, I'm making a change. I need to do something with the Moore Group," which, ladies and gentlemen, stands for Military Operated Real Estate. And we connected. You moved over with about 60 agents, and then fast forward, you were at Sam's brokerage for a while. So you guys have that connection. I met Sam when I was an independent broker owner as well. We're at Sam may not remember this conversation to its fullest, so I'm gonna give everybody this conversation.
Oh, I remember it, and I remember my feelings about it.
And so Sam and I meet at the bar, and he tells me he's the owner of Big Block Realty. At the time, I don't remember how many agents you had, Sam. I think this was 2017. Yeah, it was 17 or 18, one of those 2 years. And we found out that we were both there, and we were both nominated for most innovative brokerage. And so we're actually going up against each other on this nomination. Neither one of us won that year, by the way. But we had a great time in San Francisco at Inman. And I remember saying to Sam, "Oh, yeah, I'm nominated for the most innovative brokerage." And he kind of looks down on me because Sam is much taller than I am. And, and he looks down on me, and I'm looking up at this guy, and he's like, how long have you been open? And I go, a year. And he goes, what the F are you doing here, bro? And I was like, I guess I'm just quicker than most. I don't know, So that was our first interaction, and I think ever since then, Sam and I we just created a relationship. I went to the closing table, and I actually took my wife to that down in San Diego. That was a really great event. That introduced me to a lot more people, believe it or not, which was really cool. That's how I got to know Tristan and so many other folks. So that's kind of like my genesis with you guys. Travis, Sam, if you guys could talk about your relationship and how you guys connected.
Well, first and foremost, David, I just want to say thanks for putting this together, because I want to touch on how we got connected, and a little bit more about that is because I actually met you. I don't know if you remember, David, you still had Kerr's Realty. You still ran your own brokerage back in the day when we first met, and we just jumped on a call and just collaborated from day one. So, you're the reason why I know we're cut from the same cloth, as well as, because I'll talk about Sam in a second, is I think we can all agree that we believe in our industry, we need to focus more on collaboration over competition. And I think that when you open the doors to collaboration, which is exactly what me and you did, it really opened the door to our friendship to where it was today. And I remember when I was on a hunt for trying to figure out where I wanted to house military operated real estate, and I explored a couple of other cloud-based brokerages that are on the rise. And then I just, out of the blue, I just called you up and I was like, David, I know you probably already got the military market covered at LPT, but I would love your feedback and advice on what you got going on. And his answer to me kind of shocked me. He goes, Travis, I never did anything with the military with LPT. And then I briefed him on the things that I was working on, which are pretty innovative in my own little tiny space. And you're like, dude, stop. Don't do anything. I need to get you on the horn with Robert Palmer. And man, I'm going to tell you right this. And Sam, I'm sure we're going to talk about your experience with RP, but I got to meet him on a Zoom call in his command post that I was driving. And I've never been more impressed by another human, the way he was communicating with me, than I did with RP. And he actually went so far as to really give me some props on what we developed, and then basically invited me into his network and has been actually mentoring me to get me where we are today with launching military operated real estate. Now, with my history with that part. Now, Sam, I will tell you this. Sam has, can I tell the story about when me and you first met in person, Sam?
Yeah.
I was at another brokerage, had some challenges at the time. And I'm the type of person that, if I feel that something's right, I just do it. Hell or high water. General Patton once said, a good plan violently executed today is better than the perfect plan executed next week. So I literally was ready to make a move. I had seen the rumblings about Big Block. I had heard about Sam and his leadership at the company. And I literally just called him up. I think I remember it wasn't even you. I think I called Corey. And I said, hey, man, I need to talk to Sam today, because I'm ready to make a move. He's like, man, we're all in Vegas. I was like, they're in Vegas. I'm like, hold my beer. And I literally got in my car and drove all the way to Las Vegas on the drop of a dime. And then you actually invited me out to lunch and gave me some insight on things, what you were doing. And I was like, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. So Sam, first and foremost, man, what you've done to date has been nothing short of amazing. Even in my couple of years at Big Block, I'll tell you a couple other quick stories that, I had the luxury of. Sam came up with this idea of masterminding. He loves sharing ideas and sharing the wealth. And I will tell you that my assistant that I've had now for almost 9 years would not be my assistant had you not introduced me to the idea of bringing in a virtual assistant, number one. Number two, I learned everything I did to grow my business to where I was when I was talking to you and you were giving me insights. Hell, I even remember, I think this is why we kind of were able to go a different direction for a short time, is that I approached you, you remember, about wanting to start a military division of Big Block. And your words to me stuck with me to this day. He said, Travis, I'll support whatever you want to do, but know that if you do this, something in your life will suffer, because you can only do so many things at one time. So just be cautious about where you put your time and effort to. So I kind of put things on a hold for a second. And then now fast forward, I did get the opportunity to go to do my vision of building a military-focused brokerage, and I sat down with you humbly and told you what I want to do. And Sam, this is the kind of person you are, dude. I was expecting to get like a little shade for saying that I needed to step away, but you and Corey were so cool that you were like, dude, I know this is your passion. Go do it. And you gave me permission and that I was going in the right direction. And now that led us to today, where I think back in July, I reached out to you guys and just told you about this little buzzword called LPT that was coming to California, and that I decided to, align with them. And here we are today, and we are back together again.
We are, and I'm excited to be here, dude.
I know. Sam, I gotta pump into this, Sam, because I know this is the question hour. I know this is why people tuned in. I'm glad that we talked about the Genesis, because it's important for people to understand that things like this don't happen overnight. Like, things like this happen through long-term relationships, trust, guidance, love, appreciation, all that stuff. So I got to ask, why does the owner of a 1,200 person brokerage that is super successful, I mean, you give away a car every year, guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, I learned how to give away cars from you. So there are 2 agents in Miami-Dade County who own cars thanks to you. And so, and so why does the owner of a 1,200 person brokerage, successful, beautiful? I've seen your holiday parties and stuff, like your end of year party. I've been there. Insane. They're all the hangar. Like, I've seen this, and why did it resonate with you so much with LPT, not with EXP, not with Real, not with Epic, not with Coldwell Banker, whoever else has knocked on your door, because I'm sure everyone has knocked on your door, right? Why did you resonate so much with LPT that you actually said, this is what I want to do? Like, what made you do it?
David, I want to throw something out there. I actually remember when I was with Big Block, he actually got on a debate stage with the high executives of EXP at the time and said, this is not, and you went head to head. And actually, I thought you won the debate at the time, but you pushed all these people that are coming at you from all the different directions and focused on you. I'm actually kind of curious now too, Sam, because not surprised, when I got the call from you guys saying y'all would make the move, I was ecstatic, but I'm ready to hear the real truth myself.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot to it, but I'll say that the overarching thought process, and we can get into the details of why we did it and why I believe LPT is different than the other cloud brokerages. But at the core, as a leader of your organization, if you're a single agent, a team lead, or running a big company, you're always going to win if you put your clients, which in this scenario is my agents, when you can put your agents and their best interest before yourself and your ego, that's what a true leader does. And as I started to learn more about what LPT offers to agents, we'll put revenue share and earning stock in the company aside for a moment, the value that LPT brings, it would be remarkably irresponsible for us to not bring that to our agents. My job as a leader is to help my agents win in any market, to give them the tools and the resources to help them do so. So as we started to learn more about what LPT offers, I was like, okay, the agent-facing side of this, they're doing it the right way. Now, why have I resisted the other companies? And I don't want to make this a bad-mouthing conversation about the competitors.
No, never.
But I do think it's important because we've had nothing but opportunity to make a decision like this. And for me, number one is the hybrid comp plan model. For those of us that don't know, at LPT, you can join at 100% commission, and you can also choose to do a revenue share plan. Now, why is this important? It's important because we have all heard stories of great people that have joined a cloud-based brokerage that, you know, are making all the money. They have a huge downline. And let's say the average agent sees that and says, well, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to have my $15,000 cap or whatever it may be in hopes that I can too create that revenue. And statistically, that doesn't happen for a lot of people. So the narrative of come over here and become a recruiter, I always thought was broken. So the fact that LPT has that hybrid comp plan speaks to the DNA of what Big Block has always been, which is a sales first philosophy. We are in the business of selling homes. We are not in the business of becoming recruiters. Now, a good agent mixed with a good brokerage is going to cause organic movement. It's going to cause organic, recruiting. So an agent can be at 100% commission and they can still do the recruiting and build their downline. And once the revenue is strong enough to justify going to that bigger cap, then they have the option to do so. And for me, you know, you combine all the value that LPT brings on just sales and growth, and you combine it with the optionality of the hybrid comp plan, that's the right way to do it. And the company has that real estate's sales first philosophy, which to me is everything. It's irresponsible as a leader to blind agents with an opportunity that's not the core of their business. And the core of the business is to sell homes. Mm-hmm. One of the benefits of a model like this is that you can also create additional streams of income. So what I know to be true is in today's market, agents either want 100% or they want rev share. And the way that LPT has been built, it's the first time that both of those came together the right way, in a intentional, long-lasting way. So that was one. The other thing is, I believe that my role or our role as leaders in the world of supporting agents has to be built on the foundation of not only helping them sell more homes, but also helping them build wealth. And one of the narratives that has been out there with a lot of these cloud-based brokerages is you're going to earn stock in the company. You're a partner, and that's going to set you up for forever freedom financially. The challenge with the other ones, and no one really talks about this, is the value of those companies in terms of market cap, the shares, price per share is how do I say this respectfully? It doesn't calculate, right? It just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of reasons why it trades at that price, but it's still overvalued. With LPT going public in about 12 to 14 months, agents right now, based off of the things they're already doing, selling homes, recruiting agents, they're going to earn shares in the company at a zero cost basis. They're going to earn shares in the company pre-IPO. For those of us that understand the stock market, understand that earning shares in a company that's growing as fast as it is, that's doing everything that LPT is doing, to be able to get those shares pre-IPO and get that lift of the IPO, that is a phenomenal, remarkable game changer for a lot of people. So let's put that in perspective real quick. If I go to a competitor and I hit my milestone, let's say it's $15,000 that I've invested in my cap, that company is going to give me $15,000 worth of shares inside of the company. If the shares are $100 a share or $20 a share or $1,000 a share, I'm not getting 15,000 shares. I'm getting $15,000 worth of shares at the price in which that share is trading that day. And that is a very different scenario than what we have here at LPT before the IPO. An agent can earn, let's say, 15,000 shares of the company. And I'm not suggesting what the share price will be, but I am suggesting that the lift from zero to wherever it lands
could be $1. 0 to $1 is 100% growth.
It could be $1. It could be $100. It could be $20. It could be $10. But when an agent can achieve, again, I'm just running with 15,000 shares. And by the time the shares vest, what happens if the company's shares are trading at $10 a share, at $100 a share? It's profound, it's remarkable, and the window of time is short. Now, I do want to address a couple of things that I think are important. When we talk about the shares and the stock and what they could be worth, nobody knows. We can't even make claims. Illegal. Here's what I do know. What I do know is that the competitors started as penny stocks and worked their way up to the NASDAQ. LPT is going to be the first cloud-based brokerage that's going straight to the NASDAQ as a blue chip IPO. Why does that matter? Because you, as an investor, you want Wall Street market makers to want to invest in the company. You don't want the shares to be purchased by the people within the company. You want the world to see the value. So when a company is going from 0 to 15,000 agents in 3 years, less than 3 years, is going straight to a blue chip IPO, has bigger profit margins than the competitor, has better churn than the competitor, has all the things that a great brokerage should have, that matters because Wall Street's going to be attracted to that, right? Real estate is the backbone of our economy. Mm-hmm. So the investors out there want a company to win, and they want to invest in the one that will. So the fact that...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I was just saying the fact that, I'm not going to mention names, but one of the bigger competitors has gone from 0 to, let's say, 22,000 agents in about 10, 12 years. LPT has gone from 0 to 15,000 in under 3. Do you think that Wall Street is going to notice that? Mm-hmm. The company has 0 debts. Go look at the balance sheet of these competitors. Look at the money that they're losing. Look at the debt that they're holding. Look at the investors that they have propping this thing up, and then look at a company like LPT that has 0 debt, that has a clean balance sheet, that has all the growth, the goodwill, and the profitability. When this thing hits the market and the world knows, it's going to be profound. And let's not forget, LPT went from 0 to 15,000 agents in only half the country. We just opened up the other half, or the rest of the country will be open by the end of the year.
California is the largest real estate market center in the country, and they hit that benchmark without California or New York.
Yes. Yep. So you want to talk about opportunity, you want to talk about growth, you want to talk about upside. Let's look at the real numbers. Let's not only listen to the narrative, because the reason I avoided all of the other companies is because of the narrative that was not fair to the agent. It was not fair to convince an agent that they can get rich off of shares. It was not fair to convince an agent that their downline is going to be $200,000-$300,000 a month like some of the people out there. What is fair is optionality. What is fair is an opportunity to come in as a partner.
All of us have seen it too, right? Like all of us have seen it where that tactic is taken, and you just stand back and it's not true. And this agent, joins said cloud brokerage with the hopes and dreams of living in Puerto Rico one day, tax-free, right? and they come in and they do everything they can to recruit, But because they're going to recruit, some Travis said a little bit earlier, if you focus on that project, the other thing's going to hurt. Something has to suffer, right? And so what do? They join a brokerage at 80-20, let's say, right? Because that's one of our options to join as a rev share partner or a hybrid share partner at 80-20. And go recruit in the hopes of making that money. And then you realize that recruiting is a tough job. It's not the easiest thing in the world, right? And so it's a lot like getting listing, similar conversation, right? And so, but your real estate business hurts along the way. And then not only is your real estate business hurting, but the few deals that you did do, you forked off 20%, right? And so when you're looking at plus a monthly fee and all these other things, and you compare that to a company like LPT that says, hey, listen, if recruiting in stock is your thing, we have this model. If closing deals is your thing, we have this model, right? And by the way, we're real estate first. And I love that. And you talked about the agent choice, being able to choose which direction I want to go. Like I work all the time to move our agents to 80-20, not because I want them to recruit more, but because I know the entire conversation that you just had about the actual benefit of earning stock now, pre-IPO, is going to set them up for life. I got kids 19, 20 years old that are you know, in the team, right? I got kids 19, 20 years old, and they're not thinking that way. We're thinking that way because we got older and we were like, holy smokes, we gotta, you know,
we're wise. We're wise, David. We're wise.
Oh, okay, wiser. Sorry, you know, and but when you're 19 years old, you're not thinking I need to earn stock and I need to stack it up, and you know, this could be worth X amount of dollars by the time I'm 50 and I'm only 20, right? Like, you're not. It's just not a thought process. It has to be learned. It has to be taught, and I'm pushing them all the time to think that way because we have very unique, amazing opportunity. And I love that Sam, I love what you said about your reasoning. Your reason for coming on board was to give the agents that looked up to you, that believe in you, that trust you, that trust the brand of Big Block and trust the leadership behind it, that you're going to take care of them. That the reason you're doing this is for them. And that's something, listen, that's something that I've heard RP say from the very beginning. You know, when I first met with RP, we had dinner and I walked away from that dinner. And listen, when I walked into that dinner, I walked in with a chip on my shoulder. I walked in 100% unrecruitable, right? I walked in with an attitude. I walked in with a t-shirt, ball cap, and jeans and sneakers, right? Like, I think subconsciously I was trying to do everything I could to sabotage the meeting. 4 hours later, I walked out and I called my wife and I was like, oh, snap. And she said, what happened? I said, babe, we got two choices. We could lead the way or we can follow later on. And we talked to some of our partners and what we call our generals, right? And we ended up leading the way 2.5 years ago for all the same reasons.
What's important here,
David was like the top 400 agents to ever press the I believe button. So that's where he has a lot of corporate knowledge from the beginning of this.
I love that.
And I want to say this too, Sam.
And I will say something because you guys are not familiar with this. Like, you know, you guys just met RP. I'll say something. 2.5 years ago, when I met RP and he told me what he had in mind for LPT, almost none of it was in place. The agent choice of CRM, the agent choice of, you know, document system, the agent, like, you know, the agent choice of luxury pack. Look, if you want to be, you know, regular brokerage agent transaction, if you want to be in the luxury department, if you want to be in a luxury brokerage, like those things were just ideas.
Yeah. And
he told me those dreams. And 2.5 years later, I'm watching him implement every single thing he told me he was going to do.
I know.
And that I'll tell you right from my heart impresses the hell out of me on a daily basis, because I know the conversation I had with him back then. A lot of people talk, very few people do.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to ask Sam this question though. So you said one of the things is you have a lot of experience with this, Sam. So I'm actually going to ask you because I'm still a baby entrepreneur in the grand scheme of things. I only retired from the Navy in 2016. I joined with you in 2016, was there for a couple of years. But so you mentioned all these things that are going to boost up this IPO and go on IPO. We haven't talked about what LPT stands for. It stands for Listing Power Tools. And I have right here, I want to show you this. I know we've done a lot of, what's cool about what RP did is he had the vision to actually build a print marketing company 4 years before opening the brokerage. And so now he offers this entire listing power pack that has every bit of print marketing you possibly could have for you to be a winner in the real estate space. And I'm telling you, since I've done this, I've actually gone to listing appointments and actually had sellers cancel appointments with other agents after I showed them this power pack that comes with it. And here's the crazy part. It's free. Like most other companies, like they use this stuff as a ancillary business model to earn more money from the agents inside of it. He said, no, this comes with for free. You only pay for shipping and handling, and that's it. And I'm telling you, what a game changer that is. And then I'll also offer that you said, okay, now you have the one option. You have two options with LPT Realty. But I think the thing that is a relatively new thing, Sam, and I'm not sure if you heard about this. I know you know the detail, some of it, but he's now going to launch a third brand called Aperture, which is going to be basically a luxury brand that's going to be, basically competing directly with like the Compasses and the Sotheby's of the world. But the unique thing about that is it's all in the same organization. So LPT Holdings is where all your stock is, not LPT Realty. LPT Holdings, which has LPT Realty, Listing Power Tools, Aperture. And so your organization now, you can basically naturally recruit, to your point, to all three brands. You can, and now it's a whole package deal that you can do. So Sam, my question for you is, from a investor perspective, if you were looking to invest in a company, let's say you weren't in the real estate business at all, and you were just looking to invest, would it have more value to just say, hey, you have 15,000 agents that are doing this great model? Or would it be the fact that it has a print marketing company that's in the holdings, that it has another brand that's going to be out there, that everything's going to be under one-stop shop? I like to jokingly say LPT is now created where if you take the three biggest disruptors out there, the flat fee model, the rev share model, and the luxury model, and it had a baby, that would be LPT Holdings. So what is your thought on all of that when it comes to what people should look for in an IPO?
I think it's significant. You have to think, even if you're not a big investor or big on buying stock, do you want to invest in the company that has the best financials? Yes. Do you want to invest in the company that has the best growth? Yes. But do you also like the idea of investing in a company that owns the entire cycle of the industry? Yes, because the reality is someone is going to win each game. Someone's going to win the luxury game. And right now, that is yet to be determined. There's brands. Are they really winning? I don't know. I've seen the presentation for Aperture, and it is done the right way. Without getting too far into the weeds there, this was impressive to me about Aperture is it is truly built for the luxury agent to support that affluent client, that high net worth client. And if you are not one of those agents, you're not even allowed to join the company, right? There's less than 15,000 agents in the country that qualify to be a part of that. And when you see the thought and the intention behind what Aperture's designed to be, I mean, imagine American Express Black Card meets real estate brokerage, and that's what Aperture is.
Oh, that's
so as an investor, do I want to have a company that is supporting all the needs of an industry the right way with profitability and a clean balance sheet? Yes, that's going to win every single time. And there's more coming that the world doesn't even know about, right? So I think that's important. And I'll tell you that going back to my decision, there's a couple of things I think are important. One, as we've grown, every company under the sun has tried to buy us, merge with us, partner with us. And I've always taken the meetings because I always learn. I always learn more about how to make my company better. And to make a decision to essentially take your baby and lock arms with someone else on your baby. If everything is great and the value is awesome and you see it, there's still one thing that's going to stop most people. And that's the ego. The ego of, I can't let go of this because it's mine. I'll tell you exactly. Ego is the biggest killer of opportunity.
It really is.
So I had to check my ego at the door because the business is bigger than me and my ego. The business is about supporting the agents, but also doing it in a way that also supports me, right? This is not a charity, right? It has to make sense. But I want to address something that was one of the biggest deal closers for me. As we're going through these conversations after you introduce us to Robert, I started to think, man, Robert is aggressively smart, insanely creative, just very intentional about how he grows, not just growth, and is insanely kind. So I feel myself getting closer and closer to the deal, which is a bad place to be when you're negotiating a deal. But as much as I was trying to keep my emotions out of it, I decided as things were progressing to fly out to meet with Robert and the executive team. And I went and I took Corey, one of my business partners, and Roland Frazier, another one of my business partners.
Genius.
Why is this important? Roland is arguably one of the smartest humans I've ever met in my life. Offensively smart, right? But more to the point, his Rolodex is hanging out with people like Richard Branson, like the Shark Tank guys, like Kevin Harrington, like Dean Graziosi, like that's his network, that's his people. Mm-hmm. After the meeting, we met with Robert and the team for almost 3 hours. The first thing that Roland says when we walk out of the meeting is, man, that Robert guy might be one of the smartest entrepreneurs I've ever met.
Wow.
That hit home for me because to me, Roland is that guy, right? And he has had a profound impact on my life. And to see that come to life inside of a brokerage, I have never had conversations about brokerage and growth and philosophy to the degree that I've had with LPT and Robert, right? He looks at things in the front and the back the right way, not the ego way. So that was important. You know, if we want to win and we want our agents to win, we need to check our ego at the door and ask ourselves, what's really going to help everybody step into a situation of being rich and happy. Right? It's not just about the money.
Yeah.
Or just happiness. You got to have both.
Well, that's actually funny. It's funny. My very first meeting had something similar. He actually told me straight up, you know, he was very, you know, I'm sure we can all agree. He's very transparent and what you see is what you get. And he said, Travis, look, I'm gonna be straight with you. He goes, I've made enough money for 10 lifetimes. I am not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I want to build a legacy, not just for my family, but for all the agents and people who have followed and trusted me and guiding them. So he's like, my true passion is to help entrepreneurs win. That's simple. So just knowing that his heart is all about making us all win and giving us the resources to do so, I think is truly thing. And to the point, like, you know, you take about these other competitors, companies out there, the reason why they're in debt is because they have to hire people to like develop a lot of their tech and everything else that makes them a tech company. Well, what's impressive to me about Robert is he did this recently. He actually codes So I'd like to call him kind of like the Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg of real estate, because he's like literally out there in the trenches with his guys developing it. And, I was with one of the competitors and they had this, world that you had to go into. And I'm gonna be straight. I'm a little tech-tarded, right? I'm lucky I got on this, figure out how to get on this Facebook Live, right? Well, and there's a reason why I have an iPhone, is because Apple has 52% of the market share for all phones on the planet. Why? Because they've figured out how to make it user-friendly and easy for the consumer. Well, in real estate, the agents are the consumer. And I will tell you from firsthand experience, his connect that he's developed with his team is like the Apple phone of real estate. It's simple. It's easy to use. I don't have to worry about like trying to figure out if somebody's hacking me or something. It is truly very user-friendly, but yet cutting edge technology at the same time, and it impresses the living crap out of me. And I'm the old guy.
Yeah, I had very similar experience, I have to say as well. Obviously, I told you guys about the dinner that I had and understanding what he was building. And Sam, the number one thing that attracted me, so I was coming from EXP, and the number one thing that attracted me was that he said, we're going to be real estate first. Yes, we're going to have the option to, if you want to build it downline, you want to go that way, that option is available and we're going to have it for you. But we're going to focus on real estate. That's where our main focus is going to be. Everything we do is going to be about how can we get our agents to close more deals. And since then, since he told me that, everything he's implemented, everything he's done, the Zillow buys, the this, the that, the homevalue.com, you name it, everything has been about how do we get our agents to do more business? How do we get our agents to close more deals? Right? Even the listing power tools package that you just showed, and the variances of it, by the way, like all the different types of packages that you can
power
packages, being intuitive enough to be ahead of the game when NAR loses the lawsuit and has to deal with all this nonsense. Now we got to change our game. So what does Robert say? We're going to make it easy for you. You go into our back end and we're going to give you a quick way to get something signed by your buyer. Plus, we're going to create a buyer package for you and a buyer magazine and a workshop. Oh, and by the way, we're going to teach this workshop 1,000 times nationwide, right? Like, that's the innovation that a company like that needs. And that's what attracted me when I first came over, and I was so impressed with it. And look, I had that opportunity. So I go to two people that I trust him very much that are still with us today. And I said, I there was no pitch, there was no website, barely, there was, no presentation. I just went to the website that they had built up and I put it up on the TV and I go, hey guys, check this out. What do you think? Right. And both of them just looked at me and said, hell yeah, let's go. Wherever you go, I go.
Yeah.
Right. Which led to 120 people in South Florida moving with us on day one.
Yeah. And David, I'll even say the other thing that he really stands behind, his agent first concept is, or the real estate first concept, agent choice, is that, Sam, you said earlier, these other cloud-based models, they tend to have this aura about them that if you even get a phone call from one of those other agents, your first thought, are they trying to recruit me? Like, it's literally almost the first thought of your mind. Whereas Robert's done so much as to sit there and say, okay, well, first off, if you join, just so you know, even if you join RevShare, I can't let you take RevShare or really start working on that until you know our system. So he actually holds you back from getting RevShare until you close your first deal, right? That's number one. But number two is he also gives you the resources that allow you to organically people to know that we exist on your behalf. So for example, every time I close a transaction, the agent on the other side, how many times have you gotten as an agent a postcard in the mail from the agent on the other side saying, congratulations, love doing business with you. Hey, listen, we're here at LPT. If you want to learn more, hit me up. They literally do the marketing on your behalf for agent attraction. So it becomes organic. So you don't have to come across like, hey, is he calling me for a recruiting call or is he calling me about real estate? Agents at LPT can know that you're getting a call about real estate.
So Sam, now that you've made this move and I'm sure you're still in the process. There's still people moving. It's not an easy task to move 1,200 agents. I can't even, like, I moved 120 and I was going crazy. So I can't even imagine what you're going through. But I know you've got tremendous support, and I know it's working. You've been able to talk to a lot of your agents, and the majority of your agents said, Sam, I'm with you. I believe in you. I'm with you.
95%, sir.
95%, which is, by the way, for sure unheard of, and probably will never happen again. I'm gonna put that out there, right? Because you had a culture, you had a belief, and people believe in you. And so I want to ask you, where do you see you and all of your big block agents a year from now?
Man, it's a great question. I'll tell you, I made this decision because I knew it was the right decision for the agent. And it certainly was great for me. Like I don't have to be in the trenches of the things that I once had to be as the owner of the company, right? The freedom that gives me to really focus on the things that I enjoy and I'm good at is great. Where do I imagine us being? A year from now, I have pretty wild goals, but I believe that there'll be at least 10,000 people in my personal organization from the efforts and the growth. I believe I'm going to be, in New York alongside the team as they're ringing the bell.
I love that.
I believe that we're going to look back on this in a year. And although 95% of our agents have already transferred and the amount of brokers that are calling to ask questions, all of it is great. And it feels awesome. But I believe a year from now, when we look back on this, we will know with data that this was one of the most important decisions that we've made as a company for our agents and for ourselves. And
for your individual agents, for them, for the 1,200 that believed in you today, what do you see for them with the tools and the connection through LPT? What do you see happening for them as well? What do you inspire for them to do?
I'll tell you, I'm already seeing it, Kurtz. It's like the amount of excitement that's coming from our agents as they log in and they see all the resources, like Travis just showed the listing power tool, our listing power pack. Like I'm already seeing this invigoration of excitement. I'm already seeing, in just a few short weeks, that it's supporting the agent's individual growth in terms of production. So I'm confident that our agent's production is going to move up. I'm certain that, our agents are going to step into creating some real wealth for themselves in the shares. And I think that what gets me the most excited is the ripple that this will create, because, we're talking about 1,200 agents or 500 agents or 100 agents. When you think, okay, a company has 1,000 agents, and on average, each one of those agents has, let's say, 3 mouths that they have to feed. That's 3,000 people that are going to be impacted by the decision that we made to help our agents succeed at the highest level. That to me is exciting. One of my goals is to have such an impact in the lives of people around me that when I'm gone one day, I'll have a presence that's present even when I'm not present. And I believe that today, this decision is a spoke in that wheel.
So Sam, I think that's incredible, dude. And so I have a more pointed question for you, because I'm not going to lie to you, man. When I made the decision to, give you and Corey a call and just say, hey, just kind of introduce, and that's all I really was. I introduced you guys, set up the meetings, and it kind of created its own self. But you're kind of the first person to ever take that high-level meeting, go down this road. Why should any other independent brokerage in the United States or even on the globe, because we're launching globally, right? Why should they have a conversation just like you did?
I'll tell you, the first thing that comes to mind is happiness. Like, I am just so freaking happy now, because being an owner of a business in general has got to be one of the hardest things ever, right?
Yeah.
In the world that we live in, real estate and all the things that come with it, man, I am so free. I'm so excited. I feel like the days when I first started the Big Block, right? Like, big opportunity, so excited. None of the stuff, the weight that kind of brings you down as a business owner, right? Robert and the team get to worry about that stuff. And that, I'll tell you, I always took these meetings. And if you're a team lead, or to your point, an independent brokerage, you owe it to yourself and your happiness and your family's happiness, because the way you show up at home is a direct reflection of what happens to you at work every day. And you owe it to yourself to at least know what it looks like. And if it's not a good fit, then that's fine. After my first meeting with Robert, I was like, yeah, he's a cool guy. He's smart. Nothing here, right? But when I really, again, checked my ego and I thought about all the things that we've spoken about today, now here we are. And I'm talking to you as a broker owner right now. Mm-hmm. I know your pain. I know your struggle. I know it as well as you do. And for me to be here as excited, breathing better, feeling lighter, that's more important than any growth, any money, any opportunity.
I can collab with you on this, because I remember when I went from being the guy who had to worry about everything, every deal, every bill, every staff, everything, and being the guy ultimately responsible for everything, and then checking my ego at the door, taking a chance and letting the company now handle all that nonsense. And I get to go back to doing what I enjoy doing, which was interacting with more agents. Mm-hmm. That's what I always enjoyed. And I know that the bigger your brokerage gets, the more CEO stuff you got to do, the less you're interacting with the agents, know? And I started to lose my passion for it, because I was like, dude, I did this so we could grow and I could like get my agents producing and, create this crazy culture. And, and it was meeting with the CFO and meeting with my partner and meeting, and then I started to have to leverage the classes that I enjoyed giving and things of that nature. And now, I have this liberty, like you just said, this freedom, and, speaking as a broker owner who went the cloud way, I'm just way happier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's what it's about. And guys, like I'm not going to mention any names. And I really hope that this comes through the right way. It's going to sound egotistical, but it's not. The fact that we did this speaks volumes to a lot of other independent brokers that have continued to fight the good fight, right? Yeah. And I say that saying the amount of conversations I've had, brokerages now with 1,000 agents, 600 agents, hundreds of agents that are mid-process of jumping on this journey with us, it says to the independent broker, it's not about the downline. It's not about the shares. All of that is the icing on top. It's about doing what's right for your agents and putting yourself in a position to be the happiest you can be. And with this company, it's not personality driven. You know, some of the competition is personality driven. I'm there because I love this person, or I'm there because it's the biggest out there. This company is built off of the foundation of agents and sales. And as a leader, it's your responsibility to explore that for your team and your people, because it only gets heavier and harder. Might as well lock arms with people that are doing the right way as opposed to people that are doing it and having growth. Yeah. That's an important distinction.
Well, look, here's, you can see this on the back of my shoulder here. This is one of my favorite sayings that I've been embracing, and that team stands for together, everyone accomplishes more. And I think that if we can embrace that concept more as an industry, that collaboration over competition should be the wave of the future, then I think that we can, of course, accomplish so much more together. Because right now, I mean, I think we can all agree, there's people in our industry that like, hey, I can't tell you what's made me successful because they're going to steal my business and all this. Well, I'm sorry, that's just bullshit in my opinion. Like, I think that if we can just truly embrace each other, there's so much business for everybody that if we can just embrace arms and do this together, then, oh my gosh, then we can not only improve everybody's lifestyle, but we can also raise the bar on the quality of people in our industry. Let's be real. I like to speak truth. Our industry has the lowest threshold of education of any industry that makes you that has the potential to make you the most money. But unfortunately, some of the problems with that is it creates some people in our industry that are either completely money driven and do not put the client first, or their education in our industry has much to be desired. So if we all do it together and we share ideas, we share resources, we share concepts, then just like you did with me, Sam, like my business would not be where it is today if you did not invite me into the winner's circle where you're masterminding with us every 3 months and you were literally giving us the tools to succeed. We would, and all of us in that room. I mean, hell, you even took me on a cruise with my family, right? Like, this is the kind of guy he is. Like, he literally took me on a cruise with the other people in the organization. And it wasn't about competition. It's about us embracing each other so we can rise together. And Sam, to your point, bro, I don't know if you knew this, but do you know that I was, y'all were kind of just here in SoCal and California, and I was trying to do this national military thing. If I have agents that were not military who didn't fit my mold, they were coming to Big Block.
I know that, and I appreciate you.
So it just goes to show the legacy you left behind, that the people, even if we went on the different directions for a period of time, it goes to show where your passion is all about the agent and creating their success. And I think anybody who's watching this today or watch any of this, you're going to see that the three of us have aligned because we all have the same concept. And I think together we will achieve more and we will blow this out of the water. And I personally believe, just like you look at Apple, right? Apple is one of those companies that they just kept their head down and go. You look at Tesla. When's the last time you saw a commercial about Tesla? You don't, because they built a model that just people resonate and talk about. That's what we're creating today, guys. We're going to create a buzz that everybody's going to start following. We can do it more together.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this right now, you're excited about it. You heard something today that resonates with you. Reach out to one of these two guys. Reach out to Travis. Reach out to Sam. And connect with them. Just connect with them. Send them a direct message. Talk to them. If you're already a part of LPT, they want to meet you too, guys. If you're not a part of LPT and you're interested in what we're building here together, reach out to these two guys. Reach out to Sam. Reach out to Travis. Understand that if you're an independent brokerage and you want to have a conversation about why an independent brokerage, there's no better person than Sam to have that discussion with, right? Guys, I'm telling you, we are in a very unique position personally, and not a lot of people know this, but Robert Palmer is my sponsor to LPT. Mm-hmm. And we'll just lay in. I'm Travis's sponsor. Travis is Sam's sponsor. And we're just going to create amazing flipping things together, guys. And if you want to be a part of the excitement, if you want to be a part of the drive, if you want to be a part of, my 22 city tour coming up in 2025, if you want to be a part of this stuff, just reach out to us. we're happy to have a chat with you, talk to you. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity. If you're military minded, you want to talk about military, talk to Travis. I mean, you have tremendous opportunity with us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for doing this with me. Sam, thank you so much for believing in LPT and taking this ride with us, man.
I appreciate you guys. I had a blast. And I'll finish with this. Like you said, anyone wants to chat, shoot me a message, or shoot me a text. My phone number is 858-518-1533. But also, if you're a broker, owner, independent broker, I'm putting together a 2-day intimate mastermind. It's going to be in one of the most epic places on earth. And it's not for recruiting, it's for collaboration. So if you want to be in that room, shoot me a message. Would love to have you come out. And again, thank you both for turning me onto this, turning us onto this. And I'm excited to be on this journey with you guys.
I'm excited too. All right, thanks everybody for joining us. We're going to keep this live. It's on my YouTube. It's on each of our Facebooks. You can watch it, rewatch it, check it out, share it with your friends, and let's grow together. That's all I care about. See you guys soon.
Do it. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.